checking everything out here. Such an amazing day. The weather is like phenomenal. Oh, there's those clouds you guys know I always talk about. But man, it is like a fall day in the middle, well, not even the middle, the end of July. It's crazy that it's already the end of July. Where did this summer go? I feel like we look at the years and it's like, where did the years go? Where did the year go? So it's good sometimes, or oftentimes, to think about time, because how many of us just go and we don't think about time? We just can't believe it's gone, and we don't probably spend enough time thinking about what we're doing with our time. So again, I'm out here tonight just to appreciate what we have here and take it all in. Look at everything's looking really good. The property we had brush hogged, and man, it looks fantastic. I'm really happy with how it came out, and we've had some good rain and we got some good sun. So when you take rain and you got sun on a cattle ranch, and any kind of farm for that matter, it's all good. You can see too, we got the little young cows all there. They're all relaxing. And here's where we did some feeding here over the winter, so that didn't come back too good. But ultimately, everybody's just taking it easy out here. But, you know, thinking about time flies. Time flies when you're having fun. Time flies in general. So what are you going to do with your time? You know, it's an important question that we all have to ask. What are we going to do with our time? And are we doing with our time what we want to be doing and what we should be doing? And that's a big question to ask. It's a big question, because I know there's a lot of people out there that are not happy with what they're doing. They're not happy with how they're using time. And you know, I think it's a fitting conversation, because you know, when Lauren and I came up here to start this farm, we had no intention of starting a farm. It really wasn't in our plans. It wasn't something we ever thought about. I mean, we wanted some land and a large parcel, and you know, it's just something we thought about, right? How do you have a nice large parcel of land and you know, have a nice getaway in the country and that whole deal, and then you go back and you live your life. You live your city life, and you do that, and you do your traveling, and you see the world, and you know, you just do your thing in your small town or small city, whatever it is. For us, it was down in Florida, which was always great, and still is. But we came up here and we said, okay, well, let's give this thing a shot. And when we got here, there were no animals. There was no animals on the property. It was totally vacant. And we just said, what are we going to do here, man? Like, what are we going to do? And I said, you know, it would be a shame to have a beautiful property like this that was a farm, it is a farm, and not have any animals on it. I just felt like that was a major disservice to the property and to the land, and actually to the cows that needed a good place to be. And you know, with that being said, we just took a shot. Bought our first cows off Craigslist, like I always say, the first 13, the marvelous 13. And then from there, we just kept going and adding on, and now we haven't bought in cows. We just breed our own, and it's a pretty cool thing. And you know, it's an emotional process at times, because you know, these are like your babies out here, and you're growing them and watching them grow and do their thing and get bigger every month and every year. Some of them don't make it through the winter, which is horrible. Some of them, you know, they're alive, so things happen. But for us, I've been talking about it. We're now at the point where, you know, we have to make some real good decisions here in the next couple of weeks about, hey, the market's high. Let's get some of these cows that aren't growing, that would do well on a good grain program. Let's get them to where they need to be in order to perform at their highest level. So we're probably going to move some calves that again, would probably be best on some different ground and some different food rations or feed rations. And we'll probably move, you know, some of our feeders and call out some of our older moms that aren't producing the way they should. And that's what we'll end up doing. And, you know, when we first started, my goal was to basically have a huge cattle herd, because I knew that we would need it for our business. And now ultimately, like, we're starting to see the capacities of our land, we're starting to see what we're able to do, and at the end of the day, we want to make sure that we have enough ground, we have enough grass, we have enough of the right raw material, we'll say, to grow our cattle appropriately. So that's kind of where we're at now. You know, these are big decisions for us. It's the first time we've had to do a real culling and really take a different look at the farm as hey, let's just build our cattle herd, which is what we did, and now we're going to look at it from a different angle and perspective. And you know, last year we paid a ton of money in hay, and when I start to look at the expenses of the business and of the operation, I start to ask myself, hey, where can we trim down? Right now we probably have 150 pigs, maybe even more on the farm. I start looking at the feed bills and start seeing what we're paying in feed, and I'm saying, okay, well, is there another feed provider we can use? And I did find one that would probably get our, I think we'd be down about $100+ a ton, which is pretty amazing, you know, considering how many tons we go through a month. So trimming up there is a benefit, a positive thing on costs of feed, because that's something that is an every week thing. And even if you're paying $100 more per ton, and you know, you're buying, let's say you're buying 4 tons a week, that's $400, that's $1,600 a month, and aggregate that and compound that over the course of the year, and you're almost at 20 grand. So just one pivot, 20 grand. If we could find what's our optimal herd size here, like, so we don't need 1,000 bales, maybe we can get our bale usage down to 500. That again gets us in a good position, you know, to trim some of the finances so that we can operate in a higher margin situation and with lesser expenses. So I always say, when you're running a farm, you got to run a farm like a business, because that's what it is. And if you run it too much from your heart and too emotional, if you get overly connected, you may make some bad decisions, and those bad decisions, although they feel good, they may be financially bad and may put you in a bad situation. And that's not a place where you want to spend time. You don't want to spend time in a bad situation. You want to spend time in a great situation, and we can create that. So how we use our time and the decisions we make around time and the decisions we make in general will also affect how our time is. Is it positive? Is it negative? Is it stressed? Is it what is it? So we got to use time in our favor, and we have to make good decisions that allow our time to be well used, and we have to make sure we're in good spirits when we use our time appropriately. So that's kind of just a simple message tonight. But you know, one thing I spend a lot of time doing is thinking about efficiency. How can we get more efficient? Where are we inefficient? And if we can work to look at inefficiencies on a weekly basis and study our inefficiencies, we can then make the decisions and the choices to become more efficient overall. And again, efficiency is a beautiful thing, because with efficiency comes freedom. And being Freedom Farms, right? If that's the case, we want to make sure that we're super efficient so that we can live as free as we can, just like these cows. And you know, when I look at a setting like this, I always say this is one of my favorite parts of the farm, right here. Like, you see these cows out here just having a great life. That's really cool. And I was reading something last week that, you know, it said, well, what kind of operation are you? You You know, are you a cow-calf operation? Are you a stocker operation? Are you a finishing operation? And for us right now, we got a little bit of all three going on. It's like, well, what do we want to be? You know, what kind of an operation do we want to be? And I know Lauren and I, we really enjoy the breeding. We enjoy seeing these calves here. We really do. It's a fun part of the operation, and it's fantastic. But is it the best? Is it the best for what we're trying to do? And I still can't answer that. I talked about this a little bit last week. I still can't answer that question. It's nice to know the start and the finish of your cows. Hey, here's where they started, here's where they finished. But the business of raising cattle, it doesn't always function and operate that way, right? Usually when you talk to a farmer, it's like, hey, what do you do? I raise beef. Okay, well, what part of that segment are you? Are you finishing the beef? Are you breeding beef, right? Or are you just kind of buying that 6-month-old calf that's just off the mom and taking that 6-month-old 6 to 12 months and putting some size on and selling it to get finished? So usually that's the way it works. It's in the commercial side of beef. You have your breeding operation. As soon as that calf is done and weaned off the mom, you know, he or she is then sold. Someone else takes it, puts weight on for, you know, a period of time, raises it up, and then it's sold again, and then it's finished out. So that's the typical flight path in this business. So the fact that we're doing all three parts, again, when I talk about efficiency and I talk about time, all three parts take about 30 months. You know, if you're going to take that calf, get it all the way through, that's 30 months. That's a long time, almost 3 years. So, which brings up the next point. You know, people that complain about price of beef, think about what I just said. It could take up to 3 years. That's 3 years of inputs going into an animal. That's, even if you're not doing the start to finish, and you go in 24 to 30 months, right? Almost 2.5, 3 years, 2-3 years. That's a lot of inputs. That's transporting of the animal. There's a lot there. So this is a cumbersome business, multifaceted. And again, if we're looking for efficiency, we have to start looking too, like where are we losing money in the process? Where are we working ineffectively and inefficiently? And which part of the business is best suited for us? I know some of the other farms that do what we do, all of these cows would be, well, they basically be steers. And there's a lot of farms out there that finish up the steers. They buy them in at maybe 20 months, maybe even a little bit younger, and they finish them out. So they'd have, for us, if we have 140 cows here, they'd have 140 steers, you know, that they're about to finish out. And that's how they do it. That's how they do their business. And then they take it for processing, and they deliver that product to a customer. So again, there's options in this business as to what you want to do and what you really enjoy. And I think that's part of it too. What do you really enjoy? What part of this do you love? And I know for us right now, we do like the start quite a bit. And the finish, getting to the finish takes quite a bit of time. So we will have decisions to make. So figured I'd share all that with everybody, because I think this journey's been a fun one, and I appreciate you guys being on it with us. So thank you for that. And we hope you're enjoying the channel. And we had a great time with 𝐲𝐨𝐿 last week. He was super cool. We had a great time. I think we have some more plans in the mix with him. And that's what we got. So thank you to everybody that came out to the event. We had a wonderful time hanging with everyone. So there's the cows. They're looking good. They are looking good. Some of them are still looking bred and pregnant, which we're really happy about. And that's life here at Freedom Farms. There's Lauren's friend Keith, the ambassador, who has full immunity. Again, talk about a cost. She won't let Keith become burger patties. I don't know. We'll have to convince her. But anyway, thanks again, everybody. Give us a like, give us a thumbs up. For those of you that have nothing going on, September 14th, we'd love to have you at Freedom Fest. Hi. We'd love to have you at Freedom Fest here on this lower field. We're gonna have bands, we're gonna have pig roast, barbecue. It's gonna be an amazing day. We hope you can make it. And yeah, let's make it happen. Let's make America great again. And give us a thumbs up, give us a like, give us a share. Have a great day, have a great night, have a great life. And we'll be seeing you all real soon. See ya.